For me, this is not only an opportunity, but also the moment of a great day or moment of great day to express myself on my contribution as a designer, and especially being bestowed this responsibility to speak on one of the very novel writing skill which students will learn with great interest. As we all know that human urge or thirst to remain connected with others is both psychological and emotional. But in the absence of someone, one who is not in our presence, one who is absent, it is very difficult, or we can say that who is expected to listen to us face to face. One satisfies his own urge to remain connected with the other person by adapting the use of language. Through years, we are evident through years that human tendency to remain connected by adapting the use of language in both natural and social environment is evident. It is due to language people have remained well connected with others. Either they are among them or far off places with whom people connect, both actually and virtually. Yes, these are the main things that we will be discussing about in our session. This actually virtual connection, the title virtual connection, the meaning of virtual, the role of emotions, and I have divided this session into two parts. In the first part, I'll be discussing about the need and emotional and psychological aspects behind creating these messages. And in the second part, I'll be discussing about the actual process, the requirements, the needs, and the process, actual process of writing the virtual messages. And there are some very special examples created by myself. And this can be said as the surprise at the end of the session. So let's see about. So the title is Drafting a Virtual Message. Now, this virtual connection using a certain medium of our own choice has now been well established, percolated, and vibrant in its particular use. But now we are more serious about the language that is being used. So why not a serious thought on the language usage during this communication be thought of, which can be well planned, organized, and developed for the students who are said to be the trend setters. The language used by them may not be properly organized or may not be flawless or error free. Therefore, this writing skill titled as Drafting a Virtual Message was introduced to make this messaging factor more concrete, more rigid, and a professional one. And therefore, this title came into being. So actually, whenever we write something special and in some circumstances giving it a particular perspective or an angle, maybe there are some rules, little rules, and therefore we called it as drafting the virtual message. Though in this particular case, this particular writing skill is different, and it may not be so creative also. It can be made creative, but this is not said to be the creative skill, but creative writing skill. It can be made creative. It depends. I'm sure that the teachers will be able to make this topic very interesting, not because it is newly introduced, but it is the keen interest of the students, but it's the keen interest of the students themselves in writing messages by using different modes and mediums. Actually, we all exchange a very huge data virtually each time, each day. though we are late. Now, introducing this topic has actually become late. Though it is late, but yes, let's let's help each other to develop and improvise in the language aspects whenever we write messages. Virtual, whenever we talk about virtual, this can be said as the dictionary meaning of the word virtual. I am not going to go into very much details because much has been already known to teachers about virtual technology, etc., etc. Now, something that is not in front of us, something that is communicated to someone in his or her absence using a proper interface in the form of a technology, or as it is called as a World Wide Web, WWW. And therefore, this particular definition is said to be a standardized type of definition, and therefore virtual meaning can be understood properly. Likewise, there are so many other words connected to virtual, like we have virtual image, we have virtual storage, we have virtual memories. And virtual may also refer to so many other concepts. For example, I've just attempted to show you some something graphically, maybe virtual, something that is not formally recognized. If we speak about virtual reality, we can say this, that it is an interface that gives us the impression that they are not physically present in front of us. They are not formally recognized by us. Still, we speak about them. So this is a concept understood virtually. Then simulation. Simulation is another type of concept. If we speak about simulation, then virtual world or a computer-based simulated environment populated by many users who can create a personal existence in front of us and simultaneously independently explore the virtual world, participate in its activities, and then communicate with us, can be said as the simulation. So it is an imaginary situation that is created. This particular concept, virtual, can also be said that it is a primarily online type of concept, which can be said to be as virtual, but in the absence of the person in front of you. And so online activity is possible through virtual concept. Again, the same imaginary reality is created in front of us through the virtual concept. And last but not the least, we use virtual memory, a memory management technique that abstracts the memory address space in the form of or in the presence of a computer, allowing each process to have a dedicated address space. So this can be an excellent type of brainstorming activity for the students to gather all meanings of or words connected with virtual, the total digital meaning of virtual in. Let's move further. Now let me link this particular messages or this particular process to human emotions and the role of emotions in communication. Now, after this part is well understood and confirmed, the next and very important part of communication is emotion. People don't just send messages, but they also connect their emotions to their messages. The questions, though very basic, are very crucial. For example, who is the receiver of the message? What is his natural behavior instinct? How will he react when I write in this way? Will this particular language or vocabulary impress him? should I mention this news to him or not? Thus, emotional feedback about the receiver much talks when he when he wishes to write messages. We are all evident that though messages are sent virtually nowadays, the tone, very important, the tone or the interpretation of the sender at the other end is taken otherwise many times. Exactly the difference. Many times the tone is not understood, but thus the message becomes an issue and many wrong interpretations are made, leading to misunderstanding, and all thus becomes a chaos. And therefore, what I mean to say here is emotions help us to write a message. The composition, when we compose a message, that is the composition of a message in ourselves much depend on our emotions. Emotions help us to be firm believers in ourselves, to take firm decisions. Therefore, to take decisions to avoid all the negative aspects in life, to be action oriented, to be very profoundly understanding others in our own way. How much we understand others is very important when we write messages. So unless and until you understand a person properly, you cannot interpret the set of language used for that person in a proper way. So emotions play a very, very important part. In short, let us see some examples of messages or express the emotions expressed in different type of emotions. These emotions are human emotions. So in short, let's see some examples. Through this topic, we will see different type of emotions also. Though this topic carries the name virtual, we will not be expecting any kind of virtual exercise or practice from the students. So that we are going to discuss later. Here are some examples. We will look at it very fast. And these are very common. Let us start with the very common emotion of human being, that is happiness. And there are many connectors to this. Joy, for example, it is a sense of elation, happiness, and perhaps every acceleration often experienced as a sudden spike due to something good that has happened, something good. Satisfaction is a sense of pleasure and contentment. No, I won't be explaining all this. You all know this better because this is an emotion which is expressed through emotions in the form of messages in a very, very proper way, because we are totally involved, we are totally engrossed in such a type of message that we are writing. The other type can be a form of disgust, which we dislike, which we are, where we do not favor or support or show our willingness of any kind to appreciate this type of emotions. So disgust. One more is anger. And therefore it is easy when people say that they are angry or sad or excited, or if they tag an emoji at the end of the text. But when they don't, what does it mean to us? Given that even face-to-face communication can be confusing, it should not surprise us that truncated, dashed off text messages can result in a disastrous misunderstanding among us. So therefore, we should be very careful when using our emotions in messages. One more very important emotion of human being is surprise. How can you express surprise through messages? This is an unexpected feeling, something that is pleasant. It is a very good type of shock, excited type of shock, unexpected type of surprise. Experience. Something that is bad, something that is not good, something has happened to our emotions when we are sad. We express in different type of situations, and this is also one of the very deep and experienced type of emotions in many of us. Frustration can also lead to sadness, and vice versa. Sadness can lead to frustration. Last but not the least, fear. The emotions that emerge in a given context are highly dependent on our unique perspectives and experiences, which makes it very difficult for us to guess how someone else is feeling. That is the fear in us. Fear leads to avoidance. We avoid something. We try to escape. Our behavior is like that. And threats that are unavoidable or something that goes beyond our control. And therefore, we have this particular emotion of fear. If I am not wrong, apart from this topic, drafting a virtual message. Just look at the title. Apart from this topic, drafting a virtual message, a serious thought and focus needs to be given on reading a virtual message too, which apparently will help us to know how actually human beings react to different emotions and different situations. So therefore, these emotions play a very, very, very vital role in creating a message, and therefore this particular part was necessary, that you cannot write a message unless you are psychologically or emotionally attached to that particular situation or that particular person in any ways, though socially or professionally, anyway. In short, my idea, actually this whole attempt, the idea was to touch human psychological and behavioral traits, different human traits. This session is also an attempt to connect two aspects at the pinnacle level, at the top level. One is human adaptation to communication through emotions. Human adaptation to communication through emotions. This is the first part. Plus, communication process by message transfer in a written form. Now, what we do, we write a message, means we communicate. And when we communicate, we use a medium, and the medium needs a language. And therefore, we need to train our students from the language aspects. Here we come to the halfway, and from here onwards, the process begins. But please don't deal only with the process. Please work on the emotional aspects also to set a proper environment to get into the core topic. So this is the now the second part. What are our expectations from the students? This is more important. So when this particular lesson, this topic was designed, first of all, we have gone through the expectations, and therefore these are the expectations. First of all, they are expected to write a message, what we call as drafting a message, which is but in a verbal form and not in a non-verbal form, which also means it should be written and no digital technical format is expected because everything is handwritten. Both the sender and the receiver, both are important here. So the mention of both is also more important. One particular thing, that a message can be one's own format. You can have that freedom. Students can have that freedom. No format is expected. It should be appropriate, to the point. And when we have expectations, we also have, along with it, some considerations. So when we consider the message, it should be error-free. It should be flawless. Which also means it has certain language aspects to be evaluated, and therefore it should be error free. While writing messages, there should be no ambiguity, no double meaning words, which means that it should be very clear, well understood. Of course, the word limit is decided, and it also depends on the time limit to be given to this particular writing skill, so that the word limit is already is properly set. What is not to be included is the language which is much elite. Some very bombastic type of words, some obscure vocabulary, something that is not expected, should not be considered. So these are considerations. Some things are considered, some things are not considered. You should avoid all that leads to confusion. So no confusing words. Let us move towards the process of writing a message. Now, actually, there are some things in this particular session which are not in the textbook, our course book. Our course book is, of course, now a textbook. It can be called as a textbook because now we don't have units, we have sections. And whenever a textbook is divided into sections, it is called as a textbook. This particular process of writing a message is divided into 4 parts. So one is planning, organizing, actually writing the message, and then this 4th step is for the virtual type of message to be sent. So completing and then data processing to be sent virtually. So for us, till writing is more important because we are expecting them to write this message, which should be in a particular way as expected. Let us take one by one. Now, while planning, what are the aspects? When you plan a message, actually there is messages are not properly planned. When we write a message, we directly start writing. When we start writing, it is just like an essay. We actually don't know the start, where it is going to start and where it is going to end. But we start writing. But when the message is taken to be as a actual functional skill in your process, academic process, when you are actually writing on a particular topic, and for the students, as we are going to give them a topic for writing various messages, different topics for writing different messages, a pre-planned process is very beneficial for the students, so that they will not waste time in the examination, and as it is a properly planned type of set of language, students will be easily help them to write this planning process. What we do is we analyze. When we analyze means what we do. We decide the purpose, why, what is to be done, why is to be done, how it is to be done. And very important thing is you should know your audience or the receiver of your message. Who is going to receive this? And when he is going to receive, a particular person is going to receive a message, what set of language has to be used, what set of words are to be used, what set of points are to be included, what should be the style of writing. So it depends on who the receiver is, and therefore you can plan. Then you start gathering the information. What sort of things are to be included in the message? What sort of things are included, what are not included, what to write, what not to write. Again, here the same. So needs of the audience or the needs of the receiver. Why are you writing this message? So the purpose, when purpose is solved, you automatically come to know the needs. So when you have obtained the necessary information as needed, you start putting it into a proper medium. So a medium is selected. So this is to be sent virtually, and if you're going to actually write the message, then the writing process begins. So when the planning is done, that doesn't mean that every message needs a very big type of planning, but at least there should be some some words, some vocabulary, some sentences that needs to be planned for the message, so that the writer is in a confident mood to write the particular message. You start organizing all those ideas that you have gathered. So information is organized, which is to be communicated. You start presenting and defining the main idea. So you directly, in messages, you don't give a very big introduction, and you directly, what you do is come directly to the point. So to the point. You don't waste too much time in coming to the point. There may be one sentence or one or two sentences in beginning your message, but finally, immediately the third sentence should be your core subject. That means that you have understood the topic of the message. You limit your scope. Short but sweet. Select your approach in writing. Your words will tell what type of approach you have, what type of attitude you have in you when you write something. So attitude most, actually what I have told before, that in emotions, we often don't understand the tone of the writer. So a person who reads, who is a very good reader of English, very neatly and correctly understands the tone of the presenter. And one who has read psychology, one who knows human psychology properly, it actually helps him to understand the tone of the writer. So outline structure of the presentation is well decided. So it is not a very formal type of format and outline and structure, but at least something is decided when he starts writing. And then we go to the actual writing process. This is also important, as this is the actual practical use, a practical approach when we write a message. Presentation of the data. So whatever words, information, ideas that we have gathered, we put into a particular data. Now, while writing, what we do is we write in a simple, clear, and something that is easily understood, comprehended, that type of format, that type of language, that type of style. Then we take care of the accuracy, where the grammar, spelling, language is understood. We just checked. It is made clear. Then whatever we have written, we again go through whatever we have written. This is called as a second reading. In order to correct, in order to edit, we have to read it for the second time. And sometimes we underline some points which needs to be focused. Underlining is very important. And you present the data as per your receiver. So you make the data adaptable to your receiver. And finishing your message. So as final, when you submit, before you submit, you revise the message, you proofread again, process the message for virtual use. And this is but the last step, that is you submit and send the message using a particular medium to the receiver. Now, during all these 4 steps, what we need from the students is make them confident in the use of writing any sort of message. So at least 25 to 30 different topics can be given to the students. There are some don'ts. So these are very important. I think this can be repeated. So these are the things that message should not include. It must not include. So some students will draw and they'll say that this is a message. So this is not expected. Drawing, designing, mapping. So no type of designs, drawings expected. Some abbreviations which may be not famous, infamous. Some codes, confusing content, something that is dishonorable content, something rude language, something that is not appreciable, should not be included in the message. Again, the same thing, difficult words ambiguity. So the reader may not understand the words, and while reading the message, he may not have the dictionary. He may not have the dictionary in his mobile also. He may not have that particular facility of looking at the meaning of the words. So ambiguity, vagueness, all these things should be avoided. And very important, never take the receiver for granted. That the receiver will know this, he must have understood the background, and therefore we are writing this. So your message should be in a very clear way that it is the topic, the subject, the activity should be properly understood by the receiver. So never take things or the receiver for granted. Now messages can be written on this. Students can be made to write messages on this. So it doesn't mean that students don't know the actual, don't know these topics. They know it, but we need to assess them through the language aspects. So for us, language is very important. So these are some of the examples. There can be many other topics apart from this. These are not only the topics, there can be many. So these are just for your information. And now let us start with something that is a message. How a message is actually written. And therefore, some message templates for you all. The subject, the question for writing a message can be framed like this. This is just an example, and not from any paper point of view or any board point of view or from the evaluation point of view. This is just an example. So don't take it otherwise. So write a message to your mother to inform that you're going to your friend's house. Hello, ma'am. Hello, mom. I am writing this message to inform you that I am going to my friend Amit's house. I will come home around 6 p.m. That is after 2 hours. As you forgot to take your mobile along with you to aunt's house, I couldn't call you. Because of this, I am leaving a written message for you. I think you will arrive home before me. So mom, don't worry. I will definitely reach home by 6 p.m. Your son, Ashok. Now the same question. So same question, the message can be written in a different format. Hello mom, I am writing this note to inform you that I won't be coming home this after school as I am going to Anita's house to celebrate her sister's birthday. Do not prepare dinner for me as I will be having food at her home, and also we will be doing some combined studies as the exams are approaching. Please do not worry. I will be home by 8 p.m. With love, Priya. Now these are very can say family type of messages. It is not that every time students will have to write such examples, such messages. Now this is a message to warn an employee of your company as the director of the company. As a director, you are giving a warning. So this can also be a message. Mr. XYZ, this is an official warning to you for the incident that happened yesterday during our company working hours. This kind of misconduct is not expected at the workplace and is against the company policy and regulations. We expect every employee to respect and follow these guidelines in order to encourage a collaborative and performance-oriented work culture. Any reoccurrence of the violation will ensure strict action against you, and that may be followed by suspension without pay or termination without prior notice. Director. So this is not actually a letter, this is a message. Because the points here have directly introduced right from the beginning. One more. This is very interesting. This may make you laugh, but I have tried my best. Write a message to your friend expressing your strong opposition to attend online class. Why? Why not to attend the online class? Dear Avinash, no, this is not Avinash Reddy. So this is another Avinash. Really don't know how to express my extreme pain and pity for the ongoing online class conducted by the teachers of our college. It's really a shame and disgrace on the part of some of the teachers who lack proper plan of content, presentation techniques, and delivery methods. I simply cannot tolerate the monotonous tone, unprofessional skills, outdated ways with huge errors to teach today's smart students. I also pity and strongly object the selection criteria of such teachers into our educational system. God bless us. Deepak. Again, this is not Deepak Damodari. This is Deepak. These are some examples. And now something special for you all. How can we thank someone? So I have decided to thank the LE team through a message. Your conceptual plan and teamwork in organizing such webinars has been a record and a historical movement during this pandemic, which has developed into a revolution. Many designers, speakers showed superb determination, motivation, and inspiration, which is definitely a wonderful journey to all those who still aspire for greatness. The junior college teacher community will always bless your extraordinary work. We thank and appreciate your contribution towards this mega event and for a great social cause. Mr. XYZ. So this is for something for LE team.
Yes.
How can you thank someone again? Let me thank the mentors. Your continuous support, encouragement, and guidance has helped me reach many professional milestones. Your tech support, your rules for maintaining decorum, code of conduct, and protocol have been comforting. Your amicable decisions made us conquer the landmarks and far off goals we never could succeed without you. You are the mentors that very eye-eyed new hire needs. Our admiration and respect for you only grows each day we spend under your mentorship. Thank you for making this event a mega hit event, LE team. LE team has thanked the mentors. And someone again, LE resource person can be thanked in a different type of message. Your flawless execution was clearly evident in your plan, perspective, and perseverance during the presentations, delivery, and demonstrations of your recent task. The time and effort invested in by you was found to be very creative, constructive, and simply mind-blowing. We always knew that you were our most perfect and technologically sound resource person for the task bestowed on you. You will be remembered at every instance during our moment of teaching and learning situations. We are blessed. Thank you all, Mr. XYZ. So let us not forget the points to remember throughout our session. While writing a message, what we should remember, that it should include only the important points. Your message should be error-free, flawless, no ambiguity, no double meaning words. Word limit should be proper. Language should not be very elite. No bombastic words, very big words which are not understood. No obscure vocabulary. check before you submit, avoid playing with words, avoid ambiguity again, witticism, avoid all that would lead to confusion. And that's all from me. Let's keep connected. Thank you very much. Thank you, LE team. Thank you all.